On this episode of North American Hunter TV, we're doing a special You Call the Shot segment on elk hunting. As you can see, we've assembled some of the greatest minds in elk hunting here
Where's
to
that
discuss several scenarios.
Yeah.
Now, this is an archery elk hunt with Dave Moss last year, and I remember the stories from this hunt. They had some really severe weather and just a lot of bad luck, is what I remember. And that happens with elk hunting, as you know.
In the fall.
That's also elk hunting at times.
It is. Yeah. Boy, things can happen so quickly when you're hunting the big timber like this. I mean, just like that, you got an elk in your face. You got to be prepared at all times.
And elk, as vocal as they are, a lot of times those bigger bulls will come in quiet. And even a younger bull that's, not wanting to fight but wants to see what's there for a girlfriend.
Absolutely, you're right.
I think it's important that you're comfortable with your bow and you've got the proper draw weight that you can hold. You might want to even drop back your weight. I mean, everybody wants to be shooting the maximum poundage they can, but that might not always be a wise choice.
A good rule, try to sit in a chair, raise your feet off the ground, and pull your bow. And if you can't do it, chances are it's too much. The other piece is the setup. I see so many guys sit behind a tree, where elk you can sit in front of the tree. Get in front of that cover with the right camouflage.
Sit further back
or sit further back.
Get trapped.
That's
by
right.
The tree.
Yeah.
Be prepared to be able to shoot.
This is a real questionable shot right here because how fast everything happened. I mean, that bull just ran for some reason. You run into this opening and pause. If Dave knows the distance, and he's already at full draw, and the elk is stopping to kind of look things over, probably got an opportunity to shoot here. I wouldn't necessarily be afraid to take that shot if I think that elk is confused that there's other elk around.
Well, elk have a huge scapula, very thick. Where is this particular bull's front shoulder or that scapular relationship? Is it covering the vitals right there?
I think it's straight. I think his front leg is going straight down from the way it looks at. He just ran into there. He stopped.
Locked up for just a moment.
And he's almost broadside, maybe just slightly quartering away.
Right. He looks like he may be quartering just a little bit.
They also have a huge lung.
Right.
He's
That's the other thing.
Margin for error there.
Right.
I think the other thing that Dave's got going for him there, the elk seems to be focused in the other direction. He either heard or saw something over there. So I think Dave is in a good position to make a shot right here.
To me, the bull, he's a relatively young bull. But, to me, if I were hunting with a bow, any elk out there has got to be a trophy.
And the thing we all got to remember is elk taste good.
They do. They taste really good.
Really good.
He didn't hold
he
long
didn't.
enough.
No.
Couldn't pull it.
I think the opportunity was there, but he had to act instantly.
It's just
and if you hesitate 1 or 2 seconds, the opportunity is lost. And I kind of think that's what happened there. And we're going to look at some more opportunities when we come back.
North American Hunter is brought to you by Federal Premium Ammunition. Every shot counts. Matthews, catch us if you can. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Nikon, the trusted name in optics. Game Hide, makers of the Freedom Sleeve. Hunting wear is all we do. Thompson Center, America's master gunmaker. And by HuntingClub.com, the official site of the North American Hunting Club.
We're back to our You Call the Shots elk special, and we're going to go right back to the ace over here, Mark Kaiser.
I'm going to stumble along through this one. Again, we're in southern Colorado here. I'm hunting with my good friends at Santa Fe Outfitters. They run a great camp. They got a high-density elk area. It's an elk playground. Now here, Clay Allison, the head outfitter, the guy who runs the show down there, he came with us this morning, and my guide, and my cameraman, and me. There's 4 people on the setup.
In other words, all of your friends.
All of my,
all in one place.
And we had elk all around us. We got into one of those mornings where things were just perfect.
Aren't you concerned with all the scent that you're spewing all over the woods here? You got 4 guys.
Well, the good thing about it is in the mountains you can hunt thermals. So we're still using that aspect of the morning, so we know the wind direction, and it's not quite midday when things get all twisted and the winds go every which direction in the mountains, which is a common problem when you're hunting.
Mark, tell me about the thermals. How do you read those in the morning and in the evening?
In the evenings, usually it starts descending because it's cooling down. And in the mornings, as the mountain heats up, it's starting to rise. So we've got those in our faces. And you can see in this setup, the bull is below us. So we've actually got air still coming into our face. And one of the things I always use is one of those Windicator bottles, puff bottles. I'm always constantly puffing, not with a cigarette, but with my bottle, to see where the wind is flowing.
But that's a key point. If you're chasing elk going up, you know they're moving up, usually in the daytime. Try to get ahead of them.
Now, I got to tell you, this was the end of the hunt. This was probably my last window of opportunity. And the Kaiser family loves elk. So when this young bull come in, and he was legal, we were counting points, it was like, you know what? I think we need to put some loins in the back of the truck.
Oh, boy, he is close.
He is close.
Now look behind me. See this opening? When I saw this bull coming, I set up for that bull to come in that opening. And you know what this bull does? He goes into the thickest stuff, and if you watch here, he's actually got to jump over a log. He's got an escalator to heaven on one side, and on the other side, he's going through a garbage dump. I cannot believe it. I had to move totally 180 degrees with that bull at 9 yards.
I'm guessing he's not too far away from smelling it, though. If he's come all the way around from where you thought he was going to come, you were playing the wind at that point. Now he's circled all the way around through the woods.
Now he's
got to be getting close. He's playing the wind.
And the great thing about this, everybody had a part in this, and it was the plan came together very, very well.
It's pretty predictable where this bull is headed.
He just shot through a tree.
I'm not a big guy, but I shoot some strong bows. And their broadheads are sharp.
And the point is, you were ready. You've got to be ready. And when that window opens up, you're taking the shot.
I mewed, he stopped, looked, and already in that instance, the arrow was on its way. So.
And this is typical. You have someone else carrying your stuff out.
That's generally how I do my hunt.
Good planning on his part.
You get to be a big movie star like me. You know?
Well, you're carrying your bowl. I mean,
that's right.
After
His
all.
hands are full.
Did you share the meat with him?
I did. I actually did. I gave some of the guides, split up the quarters, and we all got a little bit of it. And
no backstrap.
They
took off the
good
stuff.
They got the ribs and the bones, and then you got the meat is what happened, right?
I took
Ribs
off
and the neck meat.
Where are we at here?
Oh, Colorado again.
That's going to be a little tough to eat right there.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Those styrofoam ones, it takes a lot of seasoning to get anything out of it.
I think so.
On this hunt, we flew down, so I wanted to make sure when I got there to test my bow, make sure it was on. Not that I don't trust the airlines, but I don't trust the airlines.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So,
and I mark all my spots on a bow. So I do a quick visual test.
Great
and
idea.
Then shoot it a few times just to make sure it's in.
we had a bull sound off to us. We set up hoping that he's going to come straight in. And there were some nice openings here, so I figured, you know what? If he shows up, he's just going to follow the highway right in.
There he comes.
This bull's coming. He knows something's going on. He thinks there's a girlfriend there. I'm hoping he's going to come right in.
And look how thick that cover is.
Oh, man.
You're scrambling for shooting lanes right here, I can imagine.
I just hate that. I try to run up there with the pruner and do this stuff, get everything cleaned out.
You didn't get it done there.
I didn't get it done.
But how many times have you been in a situation like this where everything is working out perfectly and then you just get that little tickle on the back of your neck and it's
Never,
over?
Gordon.
It's
Never.
never happened.
Never.
What are you talking about?
When?
It's never happened to me either.
You can see it's going to be tough to get an arrow through there, but it's also tough for him to pinpoint a spot where the elk is or should be. So it makes them hunt a little bit more for you.
Well, in my opinion, there's just absolutely no shot here. Not only is there a lot of clutter in the way, but that front leg is forward, that shoulder is blocking the vitals, and the elk is looking right at marks.
Well, I could probably hit that one just as well with a bow, this situation, as I could if he was standing in the open. So I'd be wishing for my 375 H&H that I could just
punch that shoulder.
And he go whop.
There you go.
Well, you guys are calling it right. I just saw no shot there.
Yep.
The bull saw something, obviously, there he just didn't like, and he was gone. I have to look elsewhere for those loins, I guess.
Yep, no meat for the freezer.
No.
More You Call the Shots Elk Special when North American Hunter returns.
There are a few accessories I take on every bow hunt, and one of the most important is my binoculars. But I don't like to carry my binos on the neck strap provided in the box. That strap is comfortable, no problems there, but I don't like the way the binos can sometimes bounce against my chest when I'm hustling through the woods. I also don't like the binos swinging away from my chest when I'm crawling into bow range of an animal during a stalk. A much better option is to spend $20 or so on a binocular harness. Check this out. Not only does a harness hold the binos secure against my chest when I'm moving fast through the woods, but it also prevents the binos from swinging low while I'm crawling. When it's time to glass, I raise the binos and they slide easily along the harness straps. As an added bonus, the harness and binos actually compress my bulky late season parka. You can adjust the harness strap lengths to fit perfectly, regardless of what you choose to wear during any bow hunt. And like the best bow hunting gear, the bino harness is simple, dependable, and quiet.
The following products have been field tested and approved by members of the North American Hunting Club. The Schrade X-Timer knife and flashlight combo features a 9-bulb LED flashlight for bright white light. The skeleton handle Schrade X-Timer folding knife has a 3-inch blade and finger grip handle. Smith & Wesson lubricant and protectant provides deep cleaning of the bore and action, yet is safe for all synthetic and wood parts. To find out how you can become a field tester, visit huntingclub.com. Our field testers get to keep everything they test.
If I could give anyone one piece of advice, it would be to shoot early while the weather is still warm. Now, I'm only kidding, but if you are like me and you find yourself on stand late season because you have an open tag, well, you better listen up. When the temps drop below zero and the winds pick up, most people take shelter. I, however, head straight to the woods because I've come up with a few solutions to deal with old man winter. For me, the first thing that starts getting cold are my hands and feet. Call me crazy if you like, but I have been known to carry a welcome mat or two into the field. Now, it's not meant to greet deer, but instead to keep me warm. I place the mat on my platform stand to help keep the cold from getting to my feet. It stops the air from coming up the stand. Now, not only does this help keep my feet warm, but it also ensures a dry, slip-free place for me to stand. The second must for late season hunting is this bow holder. It velcros right to my leg and allows my bow to sit close, at attention, ready for action. Bow hooks are great because they keep your hands free, but I've heard one too many horror stories of guys having a buck of a lifetime come through and their bow is just out of reach, dangling from a tree hook, just staring back at them as the buck of their dreams walks right on through. I never want to have to go through that pain. That's why I always keep my bow close, right on my leg. You might ask, how does that keep you warm? It's simple. With my bow on my leg, my hands don't have to stay on the freezing cold bow. They can go in the muff where they'll stay nice and toasty warm. Now I can keep my feet and hands warm, my bow ready for action, and with a little luck, maybe Mr. Big Buck will drop by for his evening stroll.
More You Call the Shots Elk special when North American Hunter returns.
I believe on this elk hunt, it's in New Mexico. Early season, it's hot, which is always a challenge. You're really working, but it's a great place to hunt.
And of course, that makes scent control all that much more important if you're sweating and put a lot of exertion in.
You know, on elk hunting, I've almost come to the conclusion, and I sweat a lot. I'm not right now, Larry, but it's about impossible to keep scent control, tightly regulated like you do whitetail hunting. And a lot of times I just figure, heck with it. If I'm going to kill something, I got to go, and I'm going to stink.
Right. And after 3, 4, 5 days,
yeah, exactly.
You still got to play the wind. I mean, even if you've got what you consider as total scent control, you still got to play the wind.
There's a big decision here because that's a young bull. Dave's got to decide, is he going to take that one? And I think what he looking at as another bull coming up.
Yep.
So that makes it all that much tougher to shoot a young bull when you've got a bigger bull screaming.
And so often that younger bull comes in, it pinpoints you. You have to be quiet, not move, and wait for the big guy to come.
Oh, look,
and here he is. Look at that.
That is the picture of what you think of when you're bow hunting elk. And then now I'm sitting at one of those junctions where I'm, because you've got barely any target there at all, with a little bit of brush and a big tree trunk.
The big shoulder blade right in the way right there.
I'm hoping that bull's going to step, but I'm not taking the shot there.
No.
I'm not either. And again, with the wind, that's just one more thing. It's gonna move you around a little bit more. There's just no margin for error here.
Well, and he's doing a great job. He's very patient.
Yeah,
waiting.
that's Dave. Dave is Mr. Patient. Yeah. That's his middle name.
But they're also, you look where that elk is standing and where he's possibly going. If he takes a couple of 3 steps forward, there's still not going to be a whole lot of room there to put an arrow.
Right.
I'm not so much worried about the wind on a shot like this at 39 yards because you still got a big target. A little bit of wind drift isn't going to affect you on an elk where it would, say, on a whitetail or a pronghorn. And now look at the scenario.
But now it's a little different.
That's a heartbreaker right there.
That is.
That's a beautiful
walking
bull.
away.
He hasn't left yet, though.
But he's not spooked.
No, he's not spooked.
He's licking his lips. I think in a situation like this, I just let him go a little bit.
Right.
He's not spooked and make another move around and either call or, at this point, it might even be best to ambush.
Right.
And this one would have thrown me for a loop, too. I would have anticipated him to move to the right because it's a smaller bull with that direction.
And on a Dar bull like that, he's got a bunch of other business going on
a
few yards away, and then he's seen what he needed to see. He wants to get back and take care of business where he knows there's something there.
Well, obviously he wasn't wearing his Spider-Man mask. That's the problem right there.
He was in his T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's right.
This is going to be some really hard footage for me to watch. I have not watched this. It was a very difficult hunt. It was just post-rut. The elk were still very vocal, but they weren't necessarily coming to the call, but they were vocal enough so that you could stay on them, and we did a lot of try to circle around in front of them.
You can actually have some good hunting right after the rut, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. In fact, I sometimes think the post-elk rut is actually better than the post-whitetail rut.
I think you're right. Like I say, those bulls are still vocal occasionally. It gives you a key to where to start.
And this is what we were seeing a lot of. The bulls were still with the cows, but they were just going about doing their business, and we were always just trying to circle around and get in front of them. A lot of close calls, a lot of getting into 60 yards, but real tough to close the deal. Now, in this case here, this isn't the one that would have been bugling up on the hill. He just poked up out of nowhere.
Those big aspen stands like that, that's a good place to look, especially midday. They love hanging up.
No doubt.
Well, I had decided already that I was going to shoot this elk, my first archery elk, and he looked good to me. What do you think?
Boy, when he come through there, and I'd already been ranging, looking, there's plenty of trees there. It's tough, again, you got to make sure you remember the right tree you range, but I'd already be at draw, and I think you got a pretty good shot here. I'm all over that.
So your first
shot.
elk with a bow, I bet your heart was pounding.
Well, I was coming unglued. You just got to settle yourself down, take a couple deep breaths, and get into your zone, and after that, everything pretty much comes automatic from that point on.
But look at this. We talk a lot about whitetails jumping this range. Did you see him? He just moved really quick.
You bet.
Well, I'll tell you the sad story here, and Mark pretty much nailed it. You have to really pay attention to what trees you're ranging. I had ranged 2 trees when he came in, one at about 30 yards and one at about 44, and he was actually at about 32 or 33 yards. And just sailed that arrow right over his back.
Yeah, I've never done that. Wouldn't know anything about that.
You just got to learn from your mistakes and move on.
How many times have you relived that moment?
Oh, man. Here it is again. I'll probably lose sleep over tonight.
Thanks for bringing it up again.
Thanks a lot.
You'll forget about it in about 40 years.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You always feel down right after that, but if you look back and, get your wits about you again, you just think, I had one of the coolest experiences, I would think. Right up front and close and personal with the bull.
Yep.
And even though you didn't get to take him home, that's still pretty neat to have happen.
North American Hunter is brought to you by new supercharged scent killer by Wildlife Research Center, beyond 99%. Polaris, see the hardest working, smoothest riding off-road vehicles now at your local dealer. Quebec, providing emotion since 1534. To receive your free packages brochure, please call 1-877-BONJOUR. Cuddyback, fast trigger speed, long battery life. Gano USA, adult precision air guns. And by these other fine sponsors.